There is a secret mechanism for control, more effective than any law, and you have been its primary operator since you learned to speak. They never gave this prison a name. They simply built the walls inside your mind, one polite smile at a time. Be accommodating. Be gentle. Never make a scene. They told you this was goodness. But what if that was the oldest lie ever sold? What if this goodness was designed not to elevate you but to keep you exactly where you are? Predictable, manageable, and utterly harmless? Centuries ago, a thinker observed civilizations crumble, not from outside forces, but from an internal rot, a decay of the will. He saw that the desire to be cherished was the very weakness that doomed men to mediocrity. He wrote a text so dangerous, it was banned, burned, and hidden because it revealed the core mechanism of power, that the need to be liked is the chain that keeps you kneeling. And yet, here you are, apologizing for space you take up, modifying your truth to avoid uneasy silence, saying yes when your entire being screams no. You have been trained to fear one label above all others. Difficult, but I need you to understand something the world will never admit. The most formidable individuals in history, the ones who shaped destinies, all shared a single, non-negotiable trait. They were comfortable letting others be disappointed. This isn't about motivation. It's about a fundamental strategic error. You believe kindness builds respect. In reality, kindness without a backbone builds contempt. When your generosity has no limit, people don't see a saint. They see a resource with no price tag, and what is free is by definition valued at nothing. There is a sickness in the modern psyche. It's not loud or violent. It's a quiet, chronic erosion. It doesn't break your bones. It dissolves your spine. It convinces you that your compliance is a virtue, your silence is wisdom, and your self-sacrifice is noble. But peel back the layer, and you'll find the truth. Your people-pleasing is not morality. It's fear, wearing a very convincing mask. Respect is not earned by agreement. It is enforced by boundaries. This disease begins in childhood, with the first reward for silence and the first punishment for a firm no. You learned a brutal equation. Approval equals safety. Discomfort equals danger. So you adapted. You folded your sharp edges inward. You muted your instincts. You traded your authentic desires for the warm, hollow reward of being called easy to work with. The world applauded the very thing that was crippling you. By adulthood, the symptoms are your normal. You apologize reflexively, without cause. You sustain relationships that exhaust you, fearing solitude more than dissatisfaction. You absorb petty insults and tell yourself it's not a big deal. Your life becomes a series of not a big deals until you wake up one day and the totality of your existence feels negligible. Meanwhile, the people you strive to please become bolder, their demands expanding to fill the space your boundaries should occupy. Why does this pattern always end in loss? Because human psychology responds not to intent, but to perceived cost. When you cannot say no, people assume you have no lines to cross. When you flee from conflict, they assume you cannot defend what's yours. Your constant availability broadcasts that your time has no value. You are trying to purchase respect with a currency that is worthless in that market. The world trades in a harder coin: consequence, scarcity, resolve. This is the psychological trap. You're not just being nice, you're an addict. Every yes is a hit of relief, a temporary high that whispers, crisis averted. But the long-term cost is the slow dissolution of yourself. You trade pieces of your integrity for momentary peace. And the cruelest twist? You believe this makes you a better person. There is nothing honorable about volunteering for your own diminishment. Every person on this path eventually reaches the same cracking point. The polite facade fractures, and what leaks out isn't anger at the world. It's rage at yourself for all the times you didn't show up for you. That is the core of the disease, not that others mistreat you, but that you allow it. Once you see that truth, you cannot unsee it. A polite man believes he is signaling virtue. The world reads it as a signal of no defenses, and people, instinctively, move toward the path of least resistance. It's not evil, it's human nature. You become the one who stays late, the friend who always adjusts, The partner who gives endlessly. Not because you are loved more, but because you are respected less. Your endless kindness doesn't create gratitude. It creates entitlement. The first favor is a gift. The 10th is an expectation. The 100th is a duty. And when you finally hesitate, you are met with confusion, as if you violated a contract they never signed. You have conditioned them. You have trained them to see your energy as a public utility. Humans sense hierarchy intuitively. The man who never creates friction, who never asserts a cost, is subconsciously placed at the bottom. Not out of hatred, but because his signals place him there. People respond to these signals, not your hidden intentions. Look at those who command real authority. They aren't needlessly cruel. They are simply unafraid of causing displeasure. That is the critical difference. They do not seek validation, so their presence carries weight. Their silence holds more power than your most enthusiastic yes. Confidence alone is not what draws respect. Consequence does. If crossing you carries no cost, you cannot command. You can only hope. There is a moment, a specific type of exhaustion, where you realize your entire personality has been sculpted to avoid disappointing others. You see the mountain of compromises, the tolerated disrespect, the abandoned preferences. The resentment you feel is the death rattle of a false identity. The mask is falling off. You cannot negotiate your way into being feared. You must become unyielding. The world only respects a man who respects himself. And self-respect is quiet. It's the ability to say no without a novel of explanation. It's choosing to disappoint another rather than betray yourself. Niceness will not save you. Firmness will. Selective indifference will. The moment you stop offering your life at a discount, the world, reluctantly, will recalibrate its prices. They demonized rudeness for a reason. Not because it's immoral, but because it is a threat to any system built on compliance. From childhood, the ultimate sin wasn't deceit or cowardice. It was being disagreeable. A hint of firmness was attitude. A spine was defiance. They feared a man who could decline without apology because that man cannot be controlled. True bluntness is simply a refusal to accommodate on demand. It is the rejection of the mandate to be perpetually pleasant. It is the courage to prioritize your own reality. And that is why it holds power. The world does not bend for the agreeable. It rearranges itself for the immovable. You've witnessed this. The colleague who states, "I won't be taking that on," is perceived as senior to the one who smiles and accepts. The person who declines an invitation gains more intrigue than the ever-available one. We don't admit it aloud, but we all feel it. Refusal implies value, and value commands attention. This perceived rudeness is just clarity. It's a terrifying signal that you cannot be manipulated by guilt, society's favorite weapon for keeping you small. And here's the unspoken secret. People tolerate bluntness from the strong, but punish it in the weak. A leader's sharp tone is decisive. A timid person's is disrespectful. Strength legitimizes firmness. Weakness does not. This is why kindness from a powerful person is seen as grace, while kindness from a weak one is seen as a survival tactic, an invitation to be used. Introducing friction changes the game instantly. It tells everyone, my cooperation is now optional. It raises the cost of interacting with you. You are no longer the free sample. You are the full, priced product. This feels like liberation because for the first time, you are not pleading for dignity. You are establishing it. People will call you rude, difficult, changed. They are not describing your behavior. They are mourning their lost access. Rudeness is the sound of you locking a door they used to walk through anytime they pleased. Once they realize your comfort is no longer their priority, the dynamic shifts. They think before asking. They approach with more care. They become more respectful. Not because you became nicer, but because you became someone they cannot move. That is the actual power. It restores equilibrium. Learning to be disagreeable isn't about cultivating hostility. It's about reclaiming authority you gave away. The world taught you that flexibility is maturity. The truth is, the man who fears disagreement fears his own essence, and that man can never be formidable. The first step is to see conflict not as a threat, but as data. Most avoid it not from peace, but from fragility. You must grow comfortable standing in the heat of another's irritation. Let them be disappointed. Their emotional state is not your duty. You are not the steward of their comfort. You are the guardian of your own sovereignty. When you stop collapsing at the first sign of tension, you'll see a miracle. The conflict you feared rarely materializes. People push only when they sense you'll give way. Stand firm, and the pressure often evaporates. The threat was never real, your perception of it was. Next, practice clean honesty. That doesn't work for me. I am not available. I see it differently. To the pleaser, these feel like declarations of war. They are. They destroy the old, pliable version of you. You will feel guilt. You will want to over-explain. Don't. Your responsibility is to the truth, not to managing their reaction. A new identity forms, one that uses silence instead of flattery, that chooses its own comfort over the comfort of drainers. You stop volunteering out of obligation. You stop pretending to agree. Slowly, you become defined from within, not by external demand. People will notice. Some will respect you more. Others will resent you deeply. Those who fed on your softness will call you selfish, cold, different. Remember, when you stop sacrificing yourself, those who benefited will see it as a betrayal. Their disappointment is a sign you've stopped doing something wrong. True power is founded on this willingness to create friction, to stand firm, to be a node of reality others must navigate. When you become this, your presence alters spaces. People anticipate your limits. They value your time. They don't assume your agreement. You become someone who must be engaged with intention. That is the essence of influence. There comes a point where you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop translating your desires into palatable, harmless versions. What emerges is a man centered in a will that cannot be bent by guilt or manipulated by expectation. This version doesn't shout. His power is in his stillness, his absence of fear. He doesn't perform friendliness. He doesn't rush to fill silences. The world looks at him differently because he has stopped broadcasting weakness. He has become a mirror, and people see themselves in his resolve. Some will respect it. Some will fear it. But their reactions no longer dictate his worth. Being unapologetic means you stop contorting. You finally understand yourself, so you no longer fear being misunderstood. You enjoy your own company, so you no longer fear being alone. This shift terrifies the system because it removes all their leverage. You are free. And free men are unpredictable. Your relationships transform. You stop accepting partial effort or conditional respect. The dynamic either purifies or it ends. The ones who remain will treat you with the seriousness you deserved all along. Your decisions become cleaner, aligned with who you are, not who you pretended to be. Your standards transform. You stop explaining why something is unacceptable. You stop repeating yourself. You don't raise your voice. That's for men who lack real power. You simply calmly walk away. And that act is the ultimate statement of self-respect. This rise is not loud. It is the quiet death of the boy who needed applause and the birth of the man who answers to himself. It is the end of the psychological servitude you've carried. Once it happens, it is irreversible. You stop living reactively. You start building architecturally. You lead. You are not becoming rude. You are becoming real. And the world only has one response to what is real. It yields. This transformation is not a single event. It is a daily war. The world will try every day to pull you back into the old role, the useful one, the quiet one, the agreeable one. You must not let it. You hold your ground. You protect your voice. You choose yourself, not once, but every single day thereafter. If anything in this stirred something dormant within you, if you felt the old shell crack, that means you're ready. The blueprint is now yours. The next move is yours. If you want to see this kind of content from us, make sure to like this video. It tells the algorithm you're here for this. And subscribe to Selvo Stray. We are just getting started.